Hello everyone and welcome to another Hallyu season review. Today I am reviewing Unearth, and it is a game for 2 to 4 players by Jason Harner and Matthew Ransom. And it is brought to us by the Brotherwise Games, very well known for their Boss Monster game. I've actually not played this one yet. I'm looking forward to possibly getting my hands on it and reviewing that one as well. But I saw a lot of talk about this game at Gen Con this year, and so was very excited to have the opportunity to take a look at it and review it for you. So Unearth, let's look at the components real quick, what come in the box. This is the box cover. Very, very lovely artwork throughout with this kind of isometric style, which caught a lot of attention recently, or somewhat recently, with the digital app Monument Valley. So very kind of reminiscent of that. But the artwork is just fantastic. In the game, you have a rule book here, and just quickly kind of open that, show you a few pages. But the rule book is laid out really well. Great illustrations when needed, and yet it is a pretty simple game. But there's some nuances and everything, but everything is very clear. So very well done rule book. Happy about that. The game includes this cloth bag, which is very, very nice quality. It is very thick, and it's a canvas type material. But yeah, just very, very happy with that. You will have what they call in the game stones that will be shuffled up in there. These are what the stones look like. They're going to come in a variety of colors here. This kind of tealish blue, black, gold, and the red. And so, yeah, we'll talk more about the game. But so these are the stones. They're little cardboard pieces. Very, very nice quality. Double-sided. Just very, very nice. Also, you have your ruin deck, your ruin cards. They're kind of these tarot-sized cards, nice and big. There's no like linen finish to them, but they're still very nice quality cards. Kind of a nice background on those. You have also these almost, I think these are the Ticket to Ride size from the original smaller cards for your what they call the Delvar deck. And they also have this really nice artwork on the back. And let's see what else. So there's these named ruins, as well as you have your lesser ruin and greater ruin cards with corresponding little hexes as well. So there's lots of little hex pieces from the stones and the special wonders that you have up here. And we have, of course, some reference cards, which is always great. Always happy to see those included in the games. And you have 4 sets of beautiful dice. Very, very, very nice quality dice. They kind of have this, a little texture to them, a little marble-esque, or some of them have just kind of this shine to them a little bit. They're very, very nice. Each set of dice, you have 3d6s, you have 1d8, and you have a 4-sided die right there. So everyone, what you're going to do is everyone's going to grab a color of dice, and everyone is going to get one of the ruin cards face down in front of them. And the way that you score points is you're going to score points by collecting these ruin cards and trying to get the highest number of that color to get you more points. So if you look at this, if you only have one of the gray cards at the end of the game, it would score you 2 points. If you have 2 of those gray cards, those 2 cards will score you 6, etc. So there are 5 cards of each color in the Ruins deck. And what happens is in a 3 or 4 player game, you're going to shuffle this up. You're going to actually remove 5 of them secretly, or keep them face down and remove them from the game. So you're not exactly sure which colors you're going to encounter. For all you know, 3 of the greens could be pulled out from this game entirely. Plus, everyone has a secret card in front of them that you're not exactly sure what they have, but maybe you can deduce that from what colors they're trying to go after in the ruins row right here. So you're going to try to collect these different ruins. You can also score points. You score an additional 5 points if you're able to get 1 of each of the colored ruins. And if you do that twice, you'd get +5 again. The other way that you can get points is from wonders. And you get a bonus if you are able to build 3 wonders throughout the game. And that's what these are. And I'll explain those in a minute. But I think we covered the components, so we can get into the gameplay. Other than the insert, which is very well done, something that really gets my blood boiling is when games include inserts or different things and all the components don't fit in there very well. Well, this is great. There's plenty of room. It's not like crazy over the top. You have way too much room, but everything fits very nicely. You're not trying to cram anything in there. And so I really like the layout of that insert as well. So components, top notch. Art is fantastic. The gameplay is also excellent. So everyone starts with a secret ruin. They start with 2 of these Delvar cards, these little cards over there. And on your turn, you're simply going to choose one of your dice for the excavation phase. And you're going to pick which ruin first. Say, I'm going to go for this one, and then you roll your die. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you are able to choose one of the stone on the card. So I can take this teal one, put it in front of me. Now, throughout the game, what's going to happen is, more people, some additional people may land there, and they may also roll a 1, 2, or 3 and take that stone. Well, what happens in the case that I roll a die in the future and it ends up being a 1, 2, or 3, and there's no stone, well, I still get a stone. I just don't get to choose one. I take one randomly from the bag here. Whoop, I got a red one. Okay, so rolling 1s and 2s and 3s is great to get stone, which in turn is great to help you get these wonders. However, the way that you gain the ruin cards is by having at the, you'll notice this top left number, 11. When all of the dice on the card add up to 11, then that's when you someone claims that ruin. So let's say it's green's turn, and they rolled their D8, and they were lucky enough to get an 8. They placed it on the card. Well, this card, which was at 8 before, is now at 16. So this is going to be claimed, or claimed. And what you do is you're going to look at the highest. Let's just for a better example. Let's say it was like this. Okay, so it was at 10. Green rolls their D8, gets an 8. So it's now at 11 or above. So this is going to be scored or claimed. And this was the first initial thing that was slightly confusing to people, blue has a 6 and a 3, which added together is 9. But the way that these are scored is you actually look at all of the dice, and whoever has the die with the highest number on the die claims the card. So even though blue together has 9, the green player will actually claim this card because they have an 8 on one of their die, which is the highest number. Now in the case of a tie, let's say it was actually, where's the 6? There we go. So let's say the green player rolled a 6. So in this case, there is a tie. In ties, how you determine ties is you're going to look at this and say, okay, blue has a 6, green has a 6. Whose die with the 6 has the highest number of die faces? So this is a 6-sided die and this is an 8-sided die. So this die is more powerful, and the green player would still claim the card. And that's basically it. If you have, 2 D6s and they're tied, then you'd go to another one. So if the other player didn't have a die, then it would go to blue. So what happens is everyone gets their dice back. Let's say, so green claims the card. So he gets his die back, and he gets this card. The other players that had dice on that card, are going to claim Delvar cards from the Delvar deck equal to the number of dice that they had on the card. So it's kind of a runners-up reward, if you will, of some sorts. You've spent some resources to go there. You're not going to go away empty-handed. So you get the blues gets their dice back, and they're going to get 2 cards from the Delvar deck, and red would get 1. So that's how that works. At the end of that person's turn, this will be flipped over, and you're going to add the number of stones shown in the bottom right-hand corner. And so we have some new stones and a new ruin to claim. And now we have a green ruin out there. Okay, the thing that I didn't mention is, so that's how your normal excavation, main excavation action of your turn works. Now, at the very beginning of your turn, there's the optional Delvar Phase, and that means you can play as many of these cards as you would like, and it's going to affect the game in different ways. So if I play Reading the Stones, give the next die rolled this turn a +1 or a -1. So again, this is before my roll, so I can play that and say, okay, I really want to try to get this stone, and I don't want someone else to have it, and so I'm going to roll my 4-sided die, which is really great, and really 1, 2, 3, or 4, there's a very high chance I'll get a stone. But I'm going to play this just in case I roll a 4, so I can subtract 1 from it to ensure that I get that stone. I didn't need to, but that's what it was. I can subtract 1 or +1. So let's say, well, I know I'm getting a stone, so I'm going to use the +1 to move it to a 3, so it's a little bit higher value. So that's that. There are also some cards that allow you, like this one here, Lost in the Ruins, reroll any one die already on a ruin. So if there's a D8 from a previous turn, and you rolled, like I most likely would, a 1 on your D8, it's terrible. Well, you can use this Lost in the Ruins before your excavation turn, if that's already on there, to say, well, I'm going to re-roll this die. Went from 1 to 6. Much, much better. Okay, so those are the Delvar cards. They let you subtract numbers from dice that are already on ruins, add numbers, or modify your current die rolls. So that's how the ruins work. And again, the more you collect of one color, the more points you're going to get. Everyone, again, has a secret one. The way the wonders work in this is you're going to be collecting stone, and you're going to be collecting this stone and building these little rings, okay, these little circles. And so a circle could look something like, let's do this. Something like this. Okay, so as you're collecting stones, they must attach to a different stone that you've already, you can't like just create separate rings. So I could place this here, as long as it's touching another stone. And I can, as you can start to see, I can make multiple rings throughout the game. Now, once you've completed a ring, you're able to collect one of the wonders. The lesser wonders you can claim as long as you have a ring complete. This is basically meaning, doesn't matter what color, all around the ring, if you score that, you can get a lesser wonder. These are randomized 2, 3, or 4 points at the end of the game, and you place that in your circle, face down so no one knows what it is. There are also what we call named wonders, which are randomized each game, like the Palace of Relics. In order to claim this one, you need to have 3 of one color and 3 of another color. I do not have this in my ring, so I cannot claim that wonder, but it would be worth 6 points. The other thing that these named wonders do is a lot of them have different abilities that allow you to do things, or they're worth a certain number of points at the end of the game given a certain number of stones, or different things like that. So like this one is you just need a ring complete as well, just like the lesser wonder. But if you were able to claim this one, it would be worth 2 points, and it has a special ability associated with it. If I can get my camera to focus here. When any player builds a wonder, you may swap the position of 2 of your stones. This does not affect your already completed wonders. This wonder is worth 2 points. So it allows you to manipulate the stones. So if you don't have the right colored stone, but you claim it, then later you can kind of manipulate and move those around. So, and then this one, you need a black, red, blue, and yellow in the ring, and then it doesn't matter what color the other ones are. At the end of the game, score 2 points for each stone of the type you have the least of. So that would, you're trying to claim all those together, trying to keep your lowest number of stones as high as possible. The harmonious columns, you may give any die you roll -1. So that could help with claiming stones quite a bit to build more of the wonders. The blackened cenotaph, this is pretty cool actually. And this is, I actually meet this because I have 2 of one color, 2 of another, and 2 of another. Boom. I can build this guy. It goes in the middle there. And this one, draw a random ruin from the ruins deck that were removed from the game and add it to your scoring deck. So actually just come over here. These were removed from the beginning of the game. Boom, a gray, very nice. Is that what I had before? Ooh, yep, so I already got 2. And I don't think that would remain secret. Oh no, add it to your hidden scoring, it does. So it'd be like, boom. Got another gray. People weren't expecting that I would have 3 of those. What? So pretty awesome. So that's how you collect ruins. And again, then you would start building another ring to fulfill there. And that's really how you play the game. Oh, the other wonder over here, the Great Wonders. Those are 6 to 8 points each. So it can be quite significant. So there's a lot of different strategies that you can go about playing Unearth. Again, you can play kind of both, which is, advantageous as you're, placing a die on there if you roll low numbers. But you can kind of try to focus in certain areas as well and say, I'm going to try to get the majority of my points from the wonders. Maybe you come up here and you think, okay, I'm going to get this one first, so I'm going to collect red stones and get this, which is going to have, I can give any die -1 on my roll, so I can make sure I get more stones. get stones each turn and build lots of wonders. Or you can focus on things of, manipulating the dice here to get the cards that you need for your sets to get more points that way. So that is Unearth, and I really, really love this game. It just is a really, really fun feel. Getting into it initially, it's like, to me, it's similar to Smash Up in some regard, where you're in Smash Up, you're placing like cards from your hand to different bases to try to claim them. I really like this game a lot better. It's not quite as chaotic, and there's a lot more strategy to it, even though you have these die roll, the randomization of the die. I really like that there's just so much going on with the different stones and trying to watch everyone else. And yet it's just so simple. You're saying, okay, I'm going to go here, and then you roll the die. That's basically it, other than maybe playing some of these little Delvar cards, which are very self-explanatory. So, I played this with my daughter, and we both had a really, really great time. And she's in the first grade, and it's a game that is pretty darn simple at the core, but there's a lot of strategy to it, and a lot of enjoyment of rolling the die, and trying to figure out exactly how to move your dice around, manipulate your dice. Like the other thing, so once you get all of your dice out on ruin cards, and nothing's being claimed at that point, then you can actually, what you end up doing is you need to roll a die on your excavation turn. So you're going to choose one of these dice, and you're going to pick it up, and you can move it to a different card, or you can keep it on the same. And you're going to roll the die and move it. Oop. You claim a stone, whatever. So, I don't know. Unearth, it is by Brotherwise Games. Very, very fun. Highly recommend it. Go check it out. And that is how Lou sees it.